Hey! It's Mental Health Awareness Week 2018 from May the 14th, which is today. I thought I'd just go over a few little bits about my own experiences with mental health and mental illness and things, and mental well-being. Physical health problems generally seem to be at the forefront of my life at the moment, which, you know, is not great, but I have actually struggled with mental health issues, mental illness, for the majority of my life actually. However, the wonders of time and employing various strategies that have taken a very long time to develop over the years mean that I am now relatively stable. Not, stuff hasn't gone away, but it's all manageable, and I'm generally, we're sort of stable. Well, we'll go with that one. So I thought I'd go through what I do to keep myself stable, I guess. For those who don't know, my official diagnosis, which took me 10 years to get from the age of 15 to 25 under psychiatric care, is bipolar disorder with atypical psychosis. Basically that means I see and hear things, and can smell things and taste things and all sorts that aren't real, but I know they're not real. Or rather, there's like a common reality which everyone experiences, and I experience a second level, I guess, which is, I can distinguish between the two quite easily now. So for example, I can hear little birds tweeting, and it's a slightly metallic and it's sound, and it's in a song, and I know it's because there are little tiny weeny little metal birds in the radiator behind me. I'm fully aware, even the dogs can't hear them, no one else can hear them, I can hear them. They're there all the time, they live in the radio. And you can go, yeah, but it's not real, and I know that, but they don't go away. And that's not a problem, because they're not distressing, they don't take over, they don't overwhelm. They have done in the past, not the little birds necessarily, but other stuff, I've also dealt with eating disorders, primarily more bulimic type behaviours, which was from age 14, 15 to 21. Maybe. Every now and then they still get those odd compulsions and thoughts, they just creep in, and I guess I feel like I'm very much a sniper on like a sniper thing, and I'm just aware that every now and then a little monster will come along and I've got to go pow, pow, pow. It's just these weird little thoughts and compulsions I know are not healthy, and they're all part of old behaviours and ways of thinking, and I have to, you have to, like whack-a-mole, get them as soon as you can, otherwise they just overwhelm and get you, and I don't want to go down those paths again. I've dealt with depression sort of mixed in with all the psychosis stuff, and what's the word? Dissociation. That dissociative phenomenon is apparently what I experience. So I have dissociative sort of things. I'm never quite sure about what the definition of that is, because I've read so many things that almost seem slightly contradictory. The biggest issue with me is the sort of self-injury type stuff, on the basis that I don't actively, consciously self-harm. However, I do have instances, I'll go to bed, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel calm, amazingly calm, just like, oh, so cathartic, just release, and then you think, oh shit, best, and look at my legs, my arms, or my body, or wherever it may be, and there is a bandage. Because in my sleep self, or whatever, dissociative state self, has decided to carve a pretty little pattern. I know people do get curious about it, because it's quite obvious and a bit weird, apparently. I've certainly never come across anyone else. I know people that dissociatively self-harm, but it's not controlled, really. It's just like scratching things. They'll wake up and they'll scratch the face and their back and whatever. Whereas, you know, you can sort of see them. Like, these are quite old, these. And there's, like, my belly is absolutely covered. It used to be anywhere that had pain, I'd end up carving it up. Do you know why that's helpful? It looks prettier, I guess. Anyway, I've had that. It's been going on since I was a teen. Again, I've sort of got to the point where I can manage it, and it happens less. I can't control it, but I can try and influence, and I guess lessen it. Yeah, previously it used to be literally, I'd have found some sort of sharp, like a broken CD, and just hacked a body part with it when I was a teenager. Now I have all sterile blades and dressings and everything already there, so that sleep dissociative self can go, oh, there we go, and then a nice pretty pattern occurs, instead of a nasty, painful, hacked up bit of skin and flesh, which is at risk of, well, high risk of infection, really, because I've created a sharp from a pencil or a CD or heaven knows what. Teenager me was a bit bleh. So what I do, get outdoors. That's like key for me. Getting outdoors, regular exercise. I try and exercise every day. I'm not saying that's essential, but it's fantastic, and it does help. You have to force yourself sometimes, but it's worth it. It is. It's totally worth it. And going out for that 10-minute walk every day, or whatever it may be, and then for the first couple of weeks it's just, I don't like doing this, and then it's, oh no, I need to go on my 10-minute walk. It's, yeah, I love it. It clears my head. So, hey, you got to find what works for you. You've got to find something that you can do. Do something that you enjoy as well. So, going for a run might work for you, or going swimming. Other people may prefer to do some heavy-duty gardening, or hiking. Hiking's awesome. Or dancing. Go to a salsa class. Oh, they're fantastic. Hobbies, again, yeah, something that you enjoy, something you're interested in and passionate about, whether it's painting tiny little figures, or even reading and learning about different languages, maybe, or whatever it is that you really, or if it's something that you previously really enjoyed, but now you just can't enjoy or anything, you can't even entertain the idea of happiness. Force yourself to do whatever it was that you used to enjoy, even if it's a chore for the first however many times. Just keep doing it. A lot of staying mentally healthy is about choosing how you react to things and forcing yourself to do things that will benefit you in the long run, even if you don't want to do them at the time. Other things, mindfulness, it works fantastically for loads of people, so definitely worth looking into. Personally, yeah, I used to do mindfulness with a psychologist. Bless him. It kind of triggered psychosis. Yeah, as in, I could, like, my two different realities started to blur, and I didn't know which was which anymore, and then the other one sort of just, like, got a bit overwhelming, and oh, it was weird. Because, yeah, just when you sort of, you've got to the point of, yeah, I can separate these, and then all of a sudden you do some mindfulness exercise and it's like, oh shit, stuff's gone a bit haywire. But I sort of apparently do my own version of mindfulness, just in fact, things like when I do my yoga, when I go out with the dogs, even just noticing and appreciating all the little things in life. Focusing on the positive is so important for anyone. Yeah, bad stuff happens. It happens all the time. It's inevitable. The world is full of crap. Just don't focus on it. Acknowledge it. Yeah, okay. It's there. You know about it, okay? You don't delve into it. Don't ruminate on it. That's a lot easier said than done. But focus on all the little tiny positives, even if it's just something as small as the way that the perhaps your dog's hair moves when they're asleep and they're snoring and they just blow a little bit and the hair just goes yeah. Just things like that you're not gonna notice unless you look for it. And it's everywhere. It's fantastic, amazing little things everywhere. You have to look for it. And again, that's not easy. It might sound easy when I describe it, I don't know. But I've been forcing myself to look for it and then got into the habit of doing it for the past 10 years. So, yeah, there's no shortcuts, sorry. The other thing I do is if I'm becoming ill, I'm not always aware of it. Especially like manic type symptoms, if I'm spiraling upwards, I don't really know. And why would I say to myself, hang on, calm down, you're getting too hyper, too excited, too animated? No, I'm not going to do that, are you? Because you're just like, yes! And because all the colours in the world have become so much brighter, and you look at that light and it's shining, and it's almost like if you touched it, you'd imagine it was fairy, it was turned into a smoke, and then you could eat it like candy floss. And I don't know that I'm doing that, because it's just it envelops you, and you just sort of like you're so preoccupied with this awesome whirlwind that's happening, and it's so intense and it's grasps you and you can't let go. It's like, even like when a car crash, you just gotta keep looking and it's horrid and all, because it's so intense. You almost don't like the fact everything's moving so fast and you can't keep up, and no one else can keep up with you, and it's just someone's put you in a planetarium, and before you know it, the planetarium's been put on one of those washing machine fairground rides and started spinning it, and someone's thrown popping candy in at the same time, and you're just spinning around and all the planets are colliding, and then the stars start scratching you and it's getting painful, and then you don't realise that other people in the room are starting to look at you, and maybe are they employed? Are they all together? Are they linked up? They're linking up with the people in the walls and the little tiny birds in the radiator, and it's a kind of world that I'm still. I kind of miss it, and I don't want to go back. It's horrible. It's just too intense, and it ends up terrifying, because you get paranoid, and there's just so much going on, and no one else gets it. It's odd, but it's not. Mania is not a good place. The ride up, it feels amazing. It's a bit like when you go on a roller coaster and you're going to get that lurch in your stomach and it rips your chest out. And you still, yeah! And it's really exciting going on the ride, and then it's too much, you can't do it. And that the track the track ends halfway down the slope, and your very rickety little cart, even though it's full of stars and made of icing, and the sweetness is almost, it started eating and corroding your nose. It's just, I don't want to go back there, so what I have to do is ask other people just to keep tabs on me. So quite often, especially my mum, she'll be like, we're getting a bit manic here. I'm not actually getting manic, perhaps hypomanic. Lithium, wonderful drug, amazing drug. Yeah, I have to have lots of blood tests, but I don't care. It's bloody lifesaver. That only does so much. it's amazing. But it's, if this is like a level, and then mania is up here, and depression's down there. Depression I've not experienced for a long while now. I get little dips every now and then, but who doesn't? And things have been a bit tricky. That's stable, okay. And so, lithium puts like a cap around here maybe. So hopefully you should just bounce between that instead of bouncing like that. That makes sense. So I still have to do a lot of work myself as well to make sure that I don't start, because if I keep bouncing there, I feel like I'm on the edge all the time, and it's tempting just to like jump out into the sunlight, like stop taking all my meds and see what happens. It's exciting. But then I know that no, because that'll trigger off psychosis and all kinds of crazy crap, and we'll stick with just the living stuff. That's okay. So yeah, asking others for feedback and being aware of your choices in life. It may well be that you discover that alcohol is really bad for you. It trips off whatever bad, horrible symptoms. Avoid alcohol then, or drugs, or whatever it may be for you, or visiting certain places. If you know that they have a bad impact on your mental well-being, don't go there. You know, even if it means forgoing perhaps friends or something, you've got to look out for yourself. Even things like if you have a history of eating disorders, I think it sort of goes without saying you have to be mindful of your choices around food and exercise. Starting off diets and things, you know, mainstream diets, maybe Slimming World or Weight Watchers or 5-2 fasting. It doesn't mean that you can't do them, but you have to just be extra vigilant that it may trigger the eating disorder demons, and you've got to be on guard, really, I think, so that, yeah, you don't go down the wrong roads. I had to stop Slimming World for that reason, as, yeah, the various terms that were being used by the other people in the group were very similar to sort of, you know, the thin-spiration stuff that used to exist in the pro-ana communities. Yeah, websites. Be careful what websites you go to. Don't read the news. If you're feeling depressed, do not read the news. It's not worth it, because it's just miserable. And that's only going to make you more miserable. Try and focus on the positives and stuff. It's all easier said than done. I don't want to make it sound dead easy. But yeah, it is all the time being aware of what you're doing, how you're doing things, and monitoring and modifying your reactions to things. Which, yeah, it takes time, practice, energy. You need help, professionals, etc. are fantastic. That's what they're there for. Drugs, if you need medication, try it, yeah, see how you go. It's usually trial and error to find the right one. It's a wonderful tool for some people. I did not get on with the majority of the meds I've tried, and they were pretty horrid. But I know other people they've worked wonders for. And likewise, lithium for me is... it's been a lifesaver, quite literally. Whereas I know others who it's really just been a bad idea. So you gotta have an open mind for these things and take anything and everything that might help. There's a lot of weird stigmas about, there's like anti-stigmas and all sorts of crazy things going on, but still talk to people and things. As yeah, none of this stuff is easy. None of it has got an easy, like a quick fix. There are no one tablet will cure this. There's no this one particular bit of therapy will cure this. Everything has to work together. And it's a lot of hard work. It is. You've got to graft. And you don't get to this end point and go, oh, recovered, fixed, yay. You continually graft because you want to prevent yourself going back, because it's very easy to go back. And you know you have this propensity, you know you have this vulnerability to certain either emotions or illnesses or behaviours, so keep tabs on yourself. It's just one of those things, I guess. Right, I think I'll call it that for now, because I'm hungry, I want some lunch.